Hello you what's his faces, Tigon here, and before this video begins I'm going to say two things. The fact that people can remotely say that there's no difference between playing on a tablet and phone and that there's no advantage really is hilarious. And the second thing is the fact that the comp scene is where it is right now also is hilarious. And what do I mean by that? Many of the people that qualified, I would definitely say qualified on tablet, and then they just switch their device to a phone. So thinking about it like that, you essentially have a decent chunk of the people that qualified for whatever World Cup that's in Call of Duty Mobile that didn't really play per se. Essentially, imagine, I don't know, a softball team winning, and then they're playing in a baseball league or whatever, because as many people know, softball is easier to play than baseball. But that's a pretty controversial intro, so without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, quick shout out to my man 𝓢𝓮𝓽𝓽𝓲𝓷𝓰𝓼. He made this amazing banner, so go ahead, check out his content. If you like it, go give him a subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into it. I played on my tablet about 12 times, and I'm not even lying. I've literally only booted this up to play Call of Duty Mobile about 12 times, and it already was just insanely easy to play. Not to mention the fact that I'm playing it with 8 fingers. Now, I've always suspected that it's better to play on a tablet, just, you know, from pure logic, or, you know, just taking what I have, taking the facts and putting together. One, you're usually gonna have a 6 times bigger screen, so that means enemies are easier to see, easier to spot, and just from that alone, if someone's easier to spot, that millisecond's all you need in something like a Twitch shooter like Call of Duty. You're gonna be able to take them out easier, right? Then on top of that, there's just much more space to play, and that's just 2. Now, you pair that with the fact that usually it's going to be 1 more optimized and 2 just run better because of the better processing power, then it's easy to see how this would be a way easier thing to use. Where is this, man? Dang it. I hate when that happens. But anyway, let's continue. So when how should I say, actually got on tablet, I was able to confirm it, because at the end of the day, these were just suspicions in the beginning. Like, I never had played on a tablet, but I could, how should I say, I had an idea that it probably was better, but at the end of the day, I was just guessing, you know? But after playing it, the ease in which I play, like, I'm not even trying. Like, right there, I could easily see that dude right behind there without even trying. I could see him sitting behind there. Now, of course, if you have a big phone, it does make it easier, but that doesn't deny the fact that just simple things is just 10 times easier. That's just what I'm saying. Now, I'll go ahead and steelman the argument, because what I'm basically saying is I got on tablet and it was insanely easy to play, right? Like, I can, if I wanted to, I could go ahead, try hard, and drop a nuke right now. So here's the 2 things I'll get. One, here's what I'll give the argument. I have been playing on Android for pretty much all my life with mobile games, right? I will say that, right? And one thing you may note, whether you know it or not, is if you're playing on an Android device, even if it's a great Android device like the OnePlus 7, it even has 90 hertz refresh rate. Even if it's a great Android device, you're still gonna have issues, because it's just, there's so many, and the optimization is not gonna be there for every Android. There's just too many. So, and I don't even knock developers for that. There's just too many. So the fact that I'm using something that isn't gonna be well optimized, I could definitely blame it myself, right? And then you have the other fact that me myself, like, also just seeing trip mines is way easier. What the fudge? What are these kids doing? Oh, that sucks. What the fudge? Did I just squad wipe their entire team? But anyway, sorry, I lost train of thought. Let's continue steelmanning. If you guys don't know what that is, it's just the opposite of a, you know, a straw hat argument. I'm basically buffing or boosting the argument that playing on a tablet is 10 times easier. But anyway, let's continue. And I'm not even joking or over exaggerating. It's literally 10 times easier. The other thing I'm gonna say is, me myself, I can pick stuff up pretty fast. Like, if you guys don't know, my entire channel is like a lot of it is just me playing 6-finger, 8-finger, just switching the way I play all the time. So I personally am able to, you know, switch my input method and go ahead and play. And I mean, for some people that might be easy, for some people that might be real hard, but I'm just saying in this particular situation, I do have to keep in mind that I personally can easily switch from stuff, and that might not be a factor for other people, right? And then the last thing I'll say, god dang it, I'm all the way behind you, fam. But anyway, the last thing I'll say is, wait, let me scope in right here. I got the best tablet I could potentially get, right? It's a 12.9 inch, right? So it's essentially the best tablet I could get. I mean, it's a 2018 12.9 inch, but why would I get a 2021? Because all it has is a better camera. It's not even optimized to the point where it's even necessary. 1, 2, there we go. So that's one thing, right? So that is the steelman argument I will give the tablet, right? Or the fact that, you know, playing on tablet is easier than playing on phone. My counter to the argument, right? One, the OnePlus 7 Pro is of course a very strong Android, but I will definitely say it's still not as optimized. So that one still goes to the fact that, yeah, I was playing on an Android device. Now the next thing is, I played on my main and I barely tried. So when I was saying the gameplay you're seeing, or when I first started playing those first few games on tablet, I was playing Bronze 1 to pretty much Pro 1 because I had never played on it. It was a brand new account. I actually went ahead and linked my main account and I played on my tablet, configured my HUD, went ahead, did it. It was supremely easy. There is even a video up, and in that video I'm just literally going off in ranked, barely trying, and dropping 30 kills. Now of course that's not a very hard thing to do, to easily drop 30 kills, but to do it while talking, not even trying, simply, you know, does take some skill, and I definitely probably would have sweated a bit more if I was playing on phone. Now the next thing I'm going to say is, I played 8-finger when I first started playing on tablet. That's the first thing I did. I made 8-finger HUD and start playing. Now of course we can go back to the fact that yes, I'm good at switching, but even when I was switching, it'd take me usually a day to get used to something and a full month to master it to where I'm adept. And not even 10 minutes I was able to easily play 8-finger on a tablet. And what that means is, I don't know if, depending, most people don't play 8-finger, but the more appendages you add, the more work your brain has to do. Like, okay, now there's this I have to do, there's this I have to do. Pretty much you're trying to, for lack of a better, I don't know, term or example, it's like trying not to get tongue-tied with your fingers, making sure your brain does everything it's supposed to. Now of course it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but at first you usually have some stumbles. But I was easily able to just go ahead, pick it up and play 8-finger on my tablet, even though it took me some time to go ahead, well not some time, about as I said, a day to get used to it and a month to master on my phone. Now one thing I did want to say in terms of my argument, it's not actually that easy to go ahead and switch between having multiple fingers between device to device. And I'll say that because we could see one person who's, you know, played, one example I would say is 𝓍, right? He plays around I think 6 fingers, and when he went ahead to play phone, he went to 4, right? And not only did he go to 4, he went to 4 and he played 4 in casuals to drop the nuke there, if you guys watch that video. Now of course that's totally expected because he's not used to playing with that, and he also didn't go ahead and play 6 fingers, right? Because that's what he usually plays. So what I'm saying is, the fact that I was able to go ahead, go to another device and play the same number of fingers I was playing is further proof that it's easier to go ahead and play on something such as a tablet, because there was no learning curve really. There was no dip process. I didn't go ahead and start playing tablet on 4 to learn to play on 8. No, I just went ahead and play 8. Like, Ferguson 1, I would definitely say amazing player, but you could even see in that video, he didn't go from playing 6 on a tablet to go playing 6 on a phone, simply because, why? It's gonna be harder, and then on top of that, he went ahead and played in casuals, which is further proof that going ahead from tablet to phone is not an easy thing to do. Now, of course, as he said in that video, in about 2 weeks, he probably could have went insane. He probably could have been cracked a phone, because a lot of it does depend on, you know, just your overall game sense. But at the end of the day, it would have taken him somewhere around 2 weeks, whereas for me to go ahead and learn tablet pretty much took me not even 2 hours. And I know for a fact I'm not a better player than 𝓐𝓐. So what I'm saying is, it's an easier switch, or easier to play on tablet than it is to play on phone. And yeah, that's another point I wanted to make. Now, the next thing I'm gonna say is, I played against a professional level tablet player when I first actually went ahead and got my tablet, and I was able to do pretty well against him. Now, one, I'm playing on something that I've never played before. I'm playing with a sensitivity I've never played before, and my HUD, of course, is something that I've never, I mean, it's similar to the HUD on my phone, but it is still completely different, because my hands are stretched out instead of being clumped up. So that also is a factor, and I was still able to do very well against this player in a 1v1. Right? Now, the last thing I will say is, which I already mentioned, I went ahead and played in legendary rank when I did connect my account. So I was able to go ahead in legendary rank and drop pretty much 30 kills, supremely easy, while making a video explaining stuff, right? So my conclusion is, the difference between tablet and phone is like playing on a console versus a PC. And I'm not talking about controller versus PC, I'm talking about console versus PC. If there's like a controller player that's playing on a console, and there's a controller player playing on a PC, the person on the PC will usually win, pretty much because, you know, they have better frames, it just performs better overall, it's more optimized. And I would say this is even greater than that gap, because one, the screen is bigger, what you have to work with is just way bigger. So that's pretty much my argument. And for me to, I'm gonna go ahead and elaborate a little bit more when I was saying with how the comp scene is kind of sad. It's just like a lot of people easily could have qualified using a tablet, and then once they found out they have to use a phone, they just go ahead and use a phone. But when that happens, you have people that weren't necessarily good enough. I mean, I'm not saying they weren't good enough, they could have been, but we don't know because they didn't qualify it like that. All I'm saying is, people that qualified on something that is easier to use to then go ahead and switch to something harder. So one, you have, you know, I would say a less skilled pool of people playing, that's one. And then two, you also have people, you know, pushing out other people that would have been more skilled. And then three, it's just not going to be the highest caliber of people playing, because I'm pretty sure there are some freaking goated phone players that went out there, qualified, got to like stage 4 going against tablet players, and then whatever stage 5 comes and they just like crush every tablet player that just switched to phone, because they're just more mechanically adjusted. But you know, at the end of the day, if you're able to have a higher IQ in a game, you can still beat another person even if they have better mechanics. But that's pretty much, that's my statement. That's what I'm saying about tablet versus phone. It's 10 times easier. That's all I can say. Now, people might not believe me, but after playing on phone for, I don't know, however many years, maybe, I think I've been playing mobile games on phone, like shooters and stuff, for about 4 years. After doing that for that much time, I will definitely say it's 10 times easier on a tablet, and I'm not even exaggerating. But that pretty much is the video. If you did, go ahead and enjoy, leave a like, and subscribe. And if you want to discuss, leave something in the comments and I will discuss with you. This is a pretty lackluster edited video because I just want to go ahead and talk to you guys. The gameplay was me actually trying to record this earlier while playing, and I actually did do pretty well, but then there was just a lot of noise in the background, so I just waited till there was less noise, just recorded the audio separately. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and peace out.